Well, back on the Corvair, had a little hiccup. I had Monday. I had TGA. It's a transcendent global amnesia. It's like an hour and a half. I didn't know anything was going on. I had that carpeting for this car in my living room, and I come out of the shower, asked my wife what it was for. And when she told me my car, I didn't understand what she was talking about. So, anyhow, it was temporary. I have no excuses. I can't remember anything anyhow. So I'm back on this. I finished welding that patch panel in over here. And as you notice, I put seam seal on it first because nobody needs to see that. It's really hard to weld that thin of stuff. And I don't know if you remember, but a lot of these seams, I vacuumed the seam sealer right up. So I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna give that a coat of paint. See what I can do about getting this carpet put in place. It's just gonna be great. So I painted the floor. I know I got this stuff. It's at Home Depot. I don't know. Iron Armor, chassis and grill paint, whatever. It was cheap. Got this floor all painted. I missed some spots because actually that's paint there. A lot of this paint was in good shape. That whole high area there. So yeah, there we go. I got the seatbelt holes all pulled back up. Welded them in, seam sealed around those. Wait for this to dry and I'm gonna get some carpet put in here. It's been a day or so. Some stuff to do. Back on it. I was getting ready to put the carpet in and I thought, well, I should clean under the seat. Look at that under that back seat. That looked great. I just cleaned the dust out of it. I'm in New Mexico, so it's desert, it's dusty. Dust everywhere. And I got that far and I remembered, oh, I haven't cleaned out this storage area for the top. So before I go making too giant of a mess, I was gonna take that back seat out, but it's hooked to this cover, which I'm really just trying to stretch it out. I've got this one off the other convertible that I was working on, and it's actually in better shape, and I don't know if I could dye that. That blue is pretty blue, but they're like $250, $300 for these, so I think I'm just gonna take this out too, and clean, all this stuff. Like I don't know, see if I can get you a decent shot here, but. The problem with this other one, it's just like this one. These are ripping out. So you can get the top fairly pliable, but this back is crispy. So this side's better, but see, they just pull out. So there really is no saving it. Still missing on the other side. This just slides into this groove in the back of the seat. Guess I could just take the seat out, but which I'm gonna do. Yep. Careful of that beautiful windshield. Also, these clips that hold so when you put the top in, oh, I gotta lubricate that. Maybe I should do that right now. There's clips that hold this down when you're in there. Well, let me just get this out of here. I know both of those are broken. I have the top, the new top. And I guess I could take this trim off. It's gonna have to come off anyhow. Lubricate the snaps up. Yep. I have to take this off anyhow to fix that other fender. And I'm not gonna make you sit through this. I get the screws out that I can see. Apparently there's more to this story that I don't know about. My tray for the top is, well, this is part of the top, but storage tray. I don't know what you call it. Yeah, those screws didn't seem to do much of anything, so. Guess I gotta do a little research. Just wanted to show you this. First thing I do buy is a chassis service manual. Well, you get to see the pictures. They're awesome. It's so old. It doesn't have anything about body stuff in here. Yeah, I'm gonna but these pictures are, you can tell, probably can't on there, but you can tell how old they are. They're not actually pictures, they're drawings. Well, they're not all drawings, but there's a lot of good information in these, but no body stuff. Pretty cool though. Not old, even the outside of it looks old. Well, probably because it is. One thing I can see looking at this, kind of glad I did this whatever you call it, the storage place for the convertible top. It looks like I have to replace that at the same time as the roof. Once I figure out how to get this off. Yeah, and I don't have that. So I may just vacuum this out, stuff it back in there for now. Not just, oh, there's a pad under there. But anyhow, that's metal. That's a metal shelf under there. So, yeah, these things right here. These things right here, this clip is broke. There's a piece on the top. Both of them broke off. So I'm going to need to find those. Sound deadening there. I don't know if I'm going to get into that. I don't know what the A3 is for, but anyhow, yeah. So I think I'll just vacuum this out, put this back down. This is definitely going to be a learning experience. That is for sure. So I have to do a little more research on this. It's just every time I close it, it makes a mess. Those clips are supposed to hold it there. And actually, so that one's run into it. This one here is bent. But they snap into place and they grab it right there and hold it down. So, yeah, it is what it is. So I really got to get this. I'll get this carpet going. I'll probably regret it because I'll probably make a mess all over the place of it. But you know, what are you gonna do? That's all we got. Got flies walking around the back of my legs, just about driving me crazy, which is great. Really kind of hard to get this shot here, but so this has got to go. And this is in here first, and it goes up over. It looks like it goes in this side. This is a molded carpet. Looks like it's got to go underneath that. So I guess I got to take that off. That's way up there. I want to get it where it belongs because I don't like having a lousy fit. Oh, I like that. Got a vent right there that's got to cut out. And I got the clips for the bottom seat. Frame's pretty bad on that. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I can't imagine. What is that? Oh, it's my stud for my seat. But I think when that's off, that's where that goes. That looks nice. I like that. Oh, what a difference that's going to make. That looks so good. Ha. All right. Well, let's see if I can't get these side covers off. Yeah, so this is the end that's broke off these pieces. Oh, yeah, they're on here now. Right. These are the pieces that go on here that hold your top down. So, no, this way. There we go. Pushes by it, snaps in there. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find them. I don't know what to search. I mean, what is it? Convertible top holder downer? Like, what is it? So, I've looked up convertible top clips. I've looked up, you know, all kinds of stuff. Anyhow, this is, I'm going to bring you on in here because, but this is just dirt. There's no rust in here. I mean, rust, the surface rust. But it's surprising that those channels that were full of dust, why they're, you know, that they didn't rust. I'm okay with that. But yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good stuff. Shame that, you know, the sun bleached that out. Look at that. I am looking for some of that dye. I don't know. I can't. I don't know. It's the cans that they show really expensive, and it just says red. Like, well, gee, that's helpful. So, going with that. But anyhow, this is where I'm at right now. I'm gonna fart around with this carpet. I'm not gonna cut the holes. Well, I will cut the studs through for the seats. But whoops, sorry, a little up my nose. But I'm not gonna. I don't know. I got seats I'm taking tomorrow to this place. See how much it's gonna cost to cover them. If it's a real lot, I'll probably just tackle it myself and regret it. But you know, I have to keep what I spend down in this car, because you know, it's not like it's a 65 Corvette. It's not. So yep. So I've been struggling to get this back on. It's really just hard to line up the holes. That carpet I did cut short. This covers, see how big that is? I cut that much off it. Trimmed it back here. I don't know if that's what that's made for, to hold the carpet in place, but I stuck it on there because, you know, it really did a nice job of holding the carpet in place. So I've got it just, it's longer, it's quite a lot longer than it needs to be. But doing that, I had a hard job getting the screws in. And so you don't need to watch me struggle. So I'm just going to do this other side. I found this interesting. I don't know if you guys do, but these panels, they're metal. So actually that clip that I need comes off. So I assume that's replaceable. But they're metal, they got a little bit of pad, and then the vinyl's wrapped around it. So I thought it was pretty neat. Like I said, this back seat was pretty crusty. This side, not bad. Over here, she's a little fragile, but, you know, I don't think, and that's a really small seat, so I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to clean it up, put some rust reformer on it, so it can be reformed and transformed, renewed, you know. Got the seat, just pops back in there like any other seat. That hooks, a couple hooks on top. Got my little vent back in over here. Arm rolled it all up. Find the screws for it. I got a bag full of stuff in the interior somewhere. And then that's the back piece. Man, what a difference. So you may be asking yourself, why is he doing the interior first when he has other stuff to do so it can run and drive? Well, to be honest with you, I've just mechanical work. And so this is just kind of a nice break. I'm really happy how that fit. That's from Rock Auto. That was $193 tax, shipping, all. I think it was 160 something. So there's a space there. That's where the seats go. Don't panic. And yeah, I'm gonna get the rest of this done. And I guess I gotta order a new one of these. This thing is just falling apart. Still haven't figured out how to get this off. I just like skip it. It's hooked on the edge of the body, so I haven't tried anything yet. I just, you know, oh, see, it moved. So I don't think there's much holding it on there. I think it probably just pushes that way. But you know, yeah, what do I know? So that's where we are so far. So I'm back on here, but I haven't done the front piece of carpet yet because my master was leaking, my master brake cylinder, so I just replaced that. And this is pretty run-of-the-mill, and you take the 2 bolts off, you unhook the line, and that's it. But I did want to point out that this says, do not branch bleed this brake cylinder, you will damage the cylinder. And it says the brake master must be bled on the vehicle before the vehicle is driven. Install the brake master in the vehicle, open and loosen the bleeder screw, the wheel cylinders, and depress so that anyhow you bleed them on there. So, but what I did is I just stick it on there. You see those bubbles? Yep. So I'm just gonna let it sit there and do what it does. But I wanted to get that done because this was leaking, this old one. This is a Rock Auto replacement. It was Raybestos. You could see it was leaking, so it was leaking onto my floor in there. So this fit good. It had another option here. But other than that, it has a bleeder. It actually has a bleeder in it, which is interesting. So yeah, that's really, now I can continue on my carpet. So the other thing I want to mention is, why can't we do things like this? So this obviously is the same as the hood. Look at the bottom side of that hood. Look how great that is. This is the frunk. No pole, no nothing. And these neat hinges, they just have a spring on them. This is 59 years old. it's the simple things, right? Yeah, so that master cylinder, this is a 65, 110 horsepower, MC36006. Made in Taiwan, better than China, I guess. Now, it's been a few days since I've been on this, had to do a job and different things, so I'm trying to get, and I've messed around with this a lot, seeing where I have it in the right place, because at some point you just got to make a commitment and cut that gas pedal in there. And it seemed like it should go up closer, but there's hooks. See the little hook up there? You have to cut it in there. And that's up to the firewall. I mean, that's up into the brake lines there. So you have to take these kick panels off. And those 2 screws. To take that out. So I can get that in there. And now I have to just cut for the dimmer switch. And they give you this little doodad to put around it so it doesn't come unwounded. I may take and burn the edges of that rug there. You could just use a soldering gun or something and just melt that so it doesn't fray. So I really don't have a good place to set up camera work in here. You just commit at some point. And if you didn't see the other one that I did, this back piece, I mean, it fits so nice. You just at some point cut it, and then this plastic piece was here, and I don't know if that's to hold the carpet, but that's what I'm using. And just when you do it, make sure it's tucked way down in there. You don't want to cut it short. A little bit long is okay. You gotta put these holes through. There's a bolt there. There's a stud there. You can heat up a center punch like people do. I just cut across the top and pushed it down on there. I don't know. So that's where I'm at so far. So I just marked that hole, and I actually used some tin snips to cut it round. The knife doesn't work that well, it pulls it and stuff, so that's all there is to it now. I just got to trim this back. They'll lay down after a while. It hasn't been out in the sun or anything. I gotta get this done, because I gotta get this thing, I gotta get the carburetors off and rebuild them. So far. Okay, so this one here was a bolt, so it's not as easy to find that. So I actually did take an awl, instead of getting a torch and everything out, I just used my soldering gun and melted it around there. It's really just to get that hole in so it doesn't fray. Once this lays down, it'll be fine. I actually took the backing. Now, let me show you. So the backing doesn't seem to be, like I said before, seemed like this whole thing should go up like 3 or 4 inches according to that pedal. But there's no place. I have to cut all the top off, and so I had to peel some of that backing off there to go around this corner. Anyhow, it'll be fine. It's not, you know, just sticking this bolt in there so I can keep it in the place where it goes. Because I want to cut these edges here. As you can see that struggle. Anyhow, I put the tape just to give me an idea, so I didn't cut it too short. I went about 1 inch inside the tape, and you see this old door had come off, and there's a pin in the bottom, and there's a spring, a pin on the spring on the top, and it works really easy. So it's the part that's on the kick panel, and I'm not going to put the kick panel. Oop. I'm not going to put this kick panel back in because I've got some paint coming. And I don't know, I did lube up this other one. I could do the same with this. I've got a couple different colors. And I think I mentioned it before, but I don't know. you know what. I don't know how you match this up, but anyhow, I got a couple colors. It'll look better than that, but I cleaned this up here. You can see inside there, that's pretty well the color. I'd like to get some paint on those, and then it won't stand out so much. Even if it's darker, it'll be fine down in there. So I'm just going to do the same thing here on the other side, except there's less problems because there's no gas pedal, brake pedal, dimmer switch, emergency brake, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to record that. Okay, obviously I haven't painted that yet, but that's what that's going to look like. So it does fit back in there. You put that little pin in there. I got to get another clip. I broke the one that holds that in there, but anyhow, there's a few wrinkles here and there, but they'll come out. I'm not worried about it. And then I just got to wait for the seats. The seats were really expensive, so I took them to a shop, a couple hours repaired, does really good work, but they wanted $1,400 for those two seats. So yeah, that's way too much. If any of you guys out there watching have a blue Corvair convertible, I have this. It's pretty crusty, but it's in one piece. It's better than mine. So I ordered covers for them. They were, I don't know, $550. And then I thought, if I'm going that far, I might as well get new cushions. So the cushions were another $200. Just really finish this thing off. Now, gonna make the back seat look sad, but you have to draw the line somewhere. This is a 65 Corvair, not a 65 Corvette. So I think I'm gonna end that here. Waiting for the spray paint to finish that up. But my next thing, I got to get on the runnability here. It'll start, it'll run. If I rev it up, that's actually a Unison gauge sitting on top of that carburetor. It's got two carbs, so you have to set them the same. I have carb kits. I'm going to rebuild those, which they look pretty simple. And then I have the filler neck and the vent, when I went to put gas in it, was leaking. I hope that's all it is. I do have a bore scope. I get down in there and look. Found a horn. The horns in this don't work. Sounds kind of dorky, but it's, you know, better than nothing. So that's my next thing, I think. Next is getting this running and driving. It was before. Really gotta, man, I gotta have, see that one, that outside one? It's like this one. And, gosh, on eBay, they're $45 for the lens. So, and I gotta look and see if that's pushed in. The body work's something else. I'm gonna get it running first, then I'll work on the body work. I bought one of them paint stripper deals, which is great. Got to tear into this, fix this up. I think I'm just gonna go as small with patch panels as I can. I've got this. So I can figure out what the shape is on this. I don't really want to come, I mean, I do have to take that. Well, that's the seam. That's the seam right there. So maybe I'll come to here, cut it up, down, and I gotta get a small piece for the bottom. But running's next. Runnability. I got some aluminum cleaner so I can clean up these thresholds, but I can't put those back in until I put the kick panels back in. So where I'm gonna leave this for now. This isn't top priority, so I do have other things going on. So I just work on it when I can, and you know, that's I had that in mind when I got it. So yep, thanks. Just thought I'd hit these quick, and I just got aluminum cleaner, like aluminum rim cleaners, and the difference in the two. Obviously this is the one I've done, a little bit of steel wool, and yeah, it was like 3 minutes. It was pretty nice. As I was going over these and cleaning them, I realized this one, I put tape on the back of it. It's cracked from here to where my thumb is. I don't know, down to that screw hole somewhere. And I remembered, I said to myself, Self, you have another car down there exactly like it. So I went down the convertible, didn't have one in it. But the other one, the hardtop, did. So it's pretty crusty. See how good that'll clean up. It's probably time to get a new piece of... It's just an SOS pad. Might be easier ways, I don't know, but this works. So that's without it. When you wash it, it really comes much cleaner. That's pretty corroded right there. It's almost like there was metal sitting on top of steel. Steel and aluminum don't mix, if you guys don't know. Oxidizes. But this is in one piece, so take a while maybe. Man, that is rough. Yep. I have a gate on all the doors because we have free range cattle that come on our property, and they will be in here on this nice green grass, although we've gotten rain. Oh, that's gonna be better. It's not quite as straight. I can straighten it out a little bit. But yeah, we've had when we have monsoon season here, we have a lot of thunder, lightning, and a lot of times we have thunder and lightning without rain because they're very small cells. And, so we had one about, it was a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. We had a lightning strike down here in this pasture outside of our yard, down by that telephone pole, if you can see it, somewhere near there, and it hit a yucca. Well, it was dry, caught on fire, so I had a fire extinguisher in the house here. The wind was blowing, and something like that could start a big fire here. So I drove down there and just side by side, sprayed it with my extinguisher. It was still smoldering, and I think, well, that's not going to work. So I come back with a bucket of water and drove down there with it, threw it on it. Well, first thing I did was call the fire department. Then I did all that. So anyhow, long story short, the fire department came, put it out. Disaster averted. Then, last Sunday, we had a lightning strike right out here. I'm not exactly sure where. And out here and killed it. So, I mean, a lot of us don't take lightning serious. I don't know, I've worked around it and stuff. And I try not to put myself out in the middle of the field standing up with a flagpole, aluminum flagpole or something, but I don't know, gives you a little more respect for the power of lightning. Well, I've been polishing on this thing for a while, and I mean, it's better than it was. It's in one piece, but I don't know, does anybody knows how to get that? Like, I don't scrub too hard down in there and get smooth that out, you know. I actually went with some emery cloth and then some 600 just to get some of this off, but probably can go a little farther on that. But gee, that's tough. Well, that looks alright. She's a little corroded, but you know, 58 years old. But I mentioned it before, not that other car I have is the exact same age. Look how nice that shuts. Says it's got 45,000 miles on it. I don't know. Maybe the owner, Mike, he watches these. He can say if that's 145 or if it's 45. Now, if my paint would come, I could put this interior back together well, my car seats. But yeah, this clothes is like $45,000.